Hello, good evening. I don't know whether any of you can see me, whether I'm here or not. Is there anybody there? Is there anybody out there? We're in the middle of a storm here. I'm being washed away. I've got the other person in the room who is, well, driving me nuts. Let's be honest. I've cooked lunch. I've been up since 5 a.m. preparing the house for a lunch. And, is there anybody out there? Yes, there are 8 people allegedly out there. Could one of you say hello? Because then I can prove that we are live, because I don't know if we're not live. Hello, Mr. Mann. Hello, Expialidocious, Susan Gent, Nicola and Beasley, Andrea Bono. Hello and good evening and cheers to you. It's been an interesting day, hasn't it, in the world? Right now here, the water is rising. We could be flooded. We could be washed away. I don't think it's going to happen, but, there we go. Anyway, I've got whiskey, I've got gin. I'll survive. Nicholas says, cheers, you've got a glass of wine. So there we are. Right, good evening, says the Judge Clips and Socio Mario and Jane Hennessy and Andrea. Yes, the noise in the background, I cannot do anything about the noise in the background. I do apologize. It is, on this occasion, simply a storm. I can't control the weather. I'm not God. So there we are on that front. I hope you've all had a lovely Sunday fun day. Lots of things happen on a Sunday, but in this part of the world, all we had was a Sunday lunch, which took me 5 hours to cook, and I did spend an awful lot of time preparing it. The other person concerned has just slept. That's all has been done. So, at least I made an effort to do something. And that's that. Yes, you are saying hello to that person. I'm not going to bring that person into the program for the moment because I'm really not in a good mood with that person because of their behavior. Anyway, right. So this evening, let's begin with some questions from you. Have you got some questions for me to begin? Let's have the questions first. And then we might go to the quiz, and then we might go to further questions. And then we might talk about the issue of the day, which is Michael Barrymore. So keep Michael Barrymore in your minds. The dreadful Michael Barrymore. I'm very angry with him. I'm very, very angry indeed. So you would like to free Alex Belfield. Whoever you are, Danine, you're a twit, you're a twat, you're a total twerp, and I don't like you, so you should bog off. Don't write in capital letters to me, free Alex Belfield. Alex Belfield is a piece of scum, he's a piece of shit. Get it off my channel. You should be blocked. If you're there, blocker, block the person. How dare you write to me? Alex Belfield is in jail and he's a disgusting, evil person. Get rid of this awful person. So there we go. There's my opinion. I didn't expect to rant the minute I got online. Right, there we are. Anyway, who is Alex Belfield? Alex Belfield is a former radio presenter who trolled and pestered people. A disgusting, nasty, like Andrew Tate type person. Absolutely horrible. So go away. Go away. Alex Bellend, yes, says Expialidocious. Yes, I agree with you. Alex Bellend is a better name for him. We don't need to have supporters of Alex Belfield here. Get off my page. I don't want you in my orbit. You're not welcome. Bog off. There we go. He's a failed radio presenter, yes. He's a great friend of Katie Hopkins, another loose nutbag, crazy bag piece of junk. Get them off the air. Stop harassing me. And if you're a friend of Sam Palmer, really bog off. Don't start now. I'm bored already, so don't bother. You're not welcome. Right. Alex Belfield is a fruit. What kind of fruit do you think that Alex Belfield is, Paulie? Paulie is a lovely person, so what kind of fruit do you think he is? I'd say he's a poisoned fruit, but there we go. Right. Alex Belfield is a disgrace, says Amanda. How is my lovely friend David? If you're meaning David from Broadstairs, I believe he's doing very well and he's very happy with his lovely wife. He's a lovely gentleman, and I'm very happy that he got married and he's very happy. So, David was a lovely person to spend time with, and I'm very glad that he's happily married. So that's a lovely thing. There we go. Right. You watched me and Sean Atwood. Yes. Well, I did speak with Sean Atwood, yes, about the many matters, but Sean Atwood doesn't want to speak with me about the matter of the nutcase. But, I wish Sean Atwood all the best. Sean Atwood is a very talented man, and he does very well in his own orbit. I do my own thing, he does his own thing, and I wish him all the very best with his own work. Right. It is disgusting that Barrymore has defended Hugh Edwards. Well, I didn't know about that, but I'll come to Barrymore separately, but I didn't know he'd been defending Hugh Edwards. I don't know what that's all about. So, Paulie, maybe you can send me a link. That would be very useful to know. The Sean Atwood book broke your heart. I don't know why, but please tell us. It's not an obvious thing that would break anyone's heart, but there we go. What is my opinion of Katie Price? Oh, well, you'd like my opinion on Katie Price. Well, the skank, as she's known, is a piece of filth. She's a piece of scum. She's an absolute toe rag. She's a liar. She's a grifter. And she even uses her own disabled, blind child so she doesn't get speeding tickets, because she uses him on the cars. What an absolute disgrace. Using poor old Harvey, the poor old blind boy, as he can't drive a car. He couldn't drive a bus ticket. Let's be honest. The skank is an absolute disgrace. So shame on her. Shame on Katie Price. She's a scammer. She's a grifter. She's gross. She's the most grim person on the entire planet. Awful woman. There we go. So you want an opinion on her? Right, you got it. So, right. And here is Harriet, lovely Harriet, who is going to keep out the creeps, the Sam Palmers. I don't want Sam Palmer here this evening, but Sam Palmer will find his way in. Of course he will. Little Sam, Sam and slitty-eyed Rutland, the one with the bog-eyed widow, creosote face. They'll both find the way in so they can come and harass me, because guess what? The Ecclestons are a little bit scared at the moment of any kind of negative publicity because James Stunt has been cleared. So they don't want people like me to talk. Yeah, I do have some tapes, Slavica. And Slavica, I'm not going to give them back. I've got them. So don't worry. I've got the tapes. So don't worry, Slavica. That's my message to Mrs. Eccleston, former. So guess what? I've got them, and they are in a place where you won't find them. So even if you kill me, it won't matter. Because I've told other people where they are, but I don't need to tell you. So anyway, that's my message. Anyway, I don't need to give out cryptic messages any further. I'm not even giving out a cryptic message. I'm giving out a very direct message. If you want to have a pop at me, come and get me. You know, you tried to strangle me once in a restaurant. Sam Palmer, you're a coward. You're a creep. And you're disgusting. And all you do is go on YouTube and make rants. And you teamed up with a billionaire's daughter. What have you done in life? You're an absolute nobody. You're a joke. You're an absolute no-hoper. You're a piece of shit. So shame on you for harassing me yesterday as you did. So don't come back harassing me again. Let's not start some kind of war here. If you're going to start a war, you're not going to win, because I will not tolerate your nonsense. You talk a load of gibberish. You walk a load of gibberish, and you look like a load of gibberish. You are a man who's got "today is all I have" tattooed across your chest. Where does that quote come from? It's a total load of gibberish. It's just like you. It's a load of gibberish. You are an absolute waste of space, Sam Palmer. So stop harassing me. Leave me alone. Bog off. Grow up. Man up. You've got one child with the rich woman. That's about all you're going to achieve in your life. You don't have any other achievement to your name. You want to be an estate agent. Sorry, estate agent. Seriously, that's the biggest joke on the planet. I'd rather be a traffic warden. Man up, grow up, show up, be yourself. Leave me alone. So Sam Palmer, if you're watching now and harassing me, which I'm really bored of, bog off. Thank you very much to Harriet, who is telling people to stop goading me. Yes, Palmer, bog off. Thank you again to Harriet. We don't need you here, Sam Palmer. Please go away, Sam Palmer. It's really very boring. It's absolutely dull. There we go. I don't need to deal with this every day of the week. It's very dull. Thank you. And thank you to Harriet. Harriet is a wonderful lady who is filtering out all this poisonous commentary. He wouldn't be a great Bond. Yes, I agree. Am I autistic? Oh, here we go. Thank you, Sam Palmer. Yes, lovely. Am I an autistic person? So you're having a pop at autistic people as well. No, I'm not autistic, but I support people who are autistic. Nothing wrong with being autistic. So, Sam Palmer, that's not a very nice question. So please ban Daneem. Ban Daneem. Send that Daneem on the merry way. Thank you. Right. No, it's not very nice to have people like this interrupt one's life. it's very rude, actually. It's not pleasant. So I'm being now called autistic. Okay. Well, not the worst thing in the world to be called. There's nothing wrong with people who are autistic. But Palmer, please, if you want to try and have a go at me, try harder. Give me a better pop than that. That's a mean thing to say about autistic people. So leave the autistic people alone, you piece of rubbish. Shame on you. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Anyway, I'm very sorry to the rest of the audience. We can talk about something else. So please throw some other questions at me because I'd rather talk about something more cheerful. Let's ignore Palmer and whatever rubbish Palmer comes back at me with, because Palmer is a horrible, horrible person. And, he tried to strangle me in a restaurant and he was convicted of the crime. So I would like you to give me something positive back. So please throw something positive back at me. That would make me more cheerful in my life. So please do that. Thank you. Right. Right. Stephen Patterson asked, will Michael Barrymore ever be brought to justice? We will come to Michael Barrymore shortly. I will talk about it. And his poor father and Champion deserve justice. I'm not sure who Champion is, but there we go. There's videos out there. Alexander Lavender. I don't know what that's about. He is part of LGBT and really shows he was not on stage. I don't know what that means, so I can't help you with that. Can we have a quiz? Yes, you can have a quiz. You'll be getting one. Scottish whiskey with Coke. Yes, you can have a bit of Scottish whiskey with Coke. Barrymore is a complete enigma. Sam Orama says, we love you, Matthew. That's very nice of you to say. You, like Wallace and Gromit, had a go at making Pete Postlethwaite and gave up halfway. Well, yeah, thank you, Sam Palmer, for your lovely comments. Yes, again, thank you. Yes. Now, why don't you bog off also? You're another part of the little Sam Palmer matrix. You're an absolute pest. Please ban Ian McIntosh. He can rod himself up his own bloody jumper. Thank you, Harriet. Please get rid of this creep. Another one. Have I ever met the actor Richard Wilson? Asks Susan. No, I haven't met Richard Wilson, but he was a lovely, wonderful actor, a lovely gentleman, not someone I know much about, but a great actor, yes. He added to the thing. Please, Harriet, get rid of Ian McIntosh. Thank you, Harriet. Please don't argue with me. That's what I actually want gone. Please ban him. Thank you. Right. Expialidocious says, you're wearing a nice jumper. Well, yes, it was a nice jumper that Lady Min kindly bought me. Lady Min is sitting here being very quiet for once in her life. It's not orange. Well, some days I don't wear orange. Do I still like mini cheddars? Asks Amanda. Yes, I love a mini cheddar. What do I think Trump and Elon Musk will move forward? You called their fallout days ago. I don't know what's happened this afternoon, but have they had a falling out this afternoon? I don't know. I haven't looked at the news, so I'm a little bit behind the times. Maybe they've had a falling out, but I predicted there would be a falling out, and I predict still there will be a falling out. Would I like to visit the Ivy in Liverpool?
No.
If I ever come to Liverpool, yes, I would like to visit the Ivy in Liverpool. I have no reason to go to Liverpool currently. So, but if I do, I will pay a visit. If no, it's disappeared. Paulie, yes, if you're in Liverpool, it'd be a pleasure to visit and meet you at the Ivy in Liverpool. Have I ever met Joan Collins? Yes, I have met her on multiple occasions. I'm not the greatest fan. She's a strange lady, you know. She played the bitch with my friend Stephen Burkhoff. She can be very grumpy with staff. I think she's an extremely talented lady, and my friend Bungalow did have a bit of a fling with her. But I would say she's a survivor. She gets on with it. She's an amazing lady for her age. She keeps the show on the road. I salute her. I say she deserves a big salutation for her achievements in life. I may not be her biggest fan, but she deserves salutations. So cheers and best wishes to Joan Collins and her husband, Percy. So cheers to them and the son, Sasha Newley, who I happen to know also, and the niece, who I happen to know, who, of course, was the daughter of Jackie. So the niece, much more fun. I preferred the niece, but there we go. Have I met Lawrence Fox? No, I've never met Lawrence Fox, but my friend William Cookson and him were close friends. But, you know, Lawrence Fox, he's a complete nutcase and a complete lunatic. No interest in Lawrence Fox. Absolutely awful. Right. We are about to be flooded here. The water is pouring down to the point that I'm absolutely terrified that we're about to die. We may have to stop the broadcast at some point because the water is getting closer and closer. Hello from South Africa, says Candy. Well, Lady Min lives in South Africa in Plettenberg Bay. Where do you live, Candy? So, Candy, tell us where you live in South Africa. Do you live near Plettenberg Bay? Because if you live near Plettenberg Bay, you better send your friends to Lady Min's shop. That would be a nice thing to do, wouldn't it? Nicola can hear the rain in the background. Yes, I'm terribly sorry about the noise. I cannot stop the noise. Absolutely awful. Do I have a pair of wellies? Asks Expialidocious. I'm afraid I don't. I only wear Todd shoes. It's a little bit unfortunate, isn't it? Because if this water comes up much higher, I'm going to be in big trouble. Very big trouble. Do I like Dan Wootton? No. Dan Wootton should shove himself up his own rotten arse, but he'd probably enjoy that, you know, being the kind of person that he is. He's a creep. I don't like Dan Wootton. Right. No, we're not going to stop the broadcast because of the electrics. We're okay for the moment, don't worry. Spring knows, summer grows, autumn leaves, winter snows, says Josie. A poem. Well, that's a nice poem that you've written. Thank you for sharing your poem, Josie. You're a very kind lady. It's very nice of you. What am I drinking tonight? The old famous grouse. Famous grouse keeps you going. It's a good thing. Down here, they only sell horrible whiskey, but in the local supermarket, they do have famous grouse. It's the best thing you can get. There we go. My John Lobb shoes. No, I don't own any John Lobb shoes, sadly, Paulie. I can't afford those. They're very, very expensive. I do have some very expensive shoes. You know, a pair of Todds is £400 a pair. But my other shoes are 800, yeah, and those John Lobbs, they're about 1,200. I'm not quite in the league of £1,200 pair of shoes. I can't afford it. So no, can't afford those. Got the grouse in, but I'm not sponsored by any of these companies. Nope. So no, the famous grouse do not sponsor me. The John Lobb do not sponsor me. I wish they did. I'd love it if they did. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? And I'll come to people getting sponsored shortly when we talk about Mr. Barrymore. But there's lots of you coming in, so here we are. What do I think about the infighting with reform? Well, I'm going to be having a conversation with Rupert Lowe of Reform, hopefully, via Christine Hamilton, because the Hamiltons had a falling out with Nigel Farage also in the past. So it's a rather similar situation to their falling out. I think that Mr. Farage as in garage, he is a megalomaniac. And I think that this Mr. Lowe makes a fair point. I don't agree with Mr. Lowe's politics because, of course, he's a Brexiteer and he's a extremist and he hates immigrants and he hates everything. I'm quite the opposite. But he was elected as an MP. He has a right to express his views within his party, which is this stupid Reform Party. Reform what? Shove it up your jacksie, I say. You're absolute talking no-nonsense party. I don't like Mr. Farage. Farage. What are they achieving? They've got 5 MP. Well, they had 5, and they've got 4. And they've treated Mr. Lowe in a very bad way. I think I'd like to have a good conversation with Mr. Lowe. So tomorrow I'm going to call Mr. Lowe and have a proper conversation because Mrs. Hamilton has said to me, she's disgusted at the way Mr. Lowe has been treated. I agree with Mrs. Hamilton. Mrs. Hamilton makes a very good point. You think Farage is a snake? Yes, I agree with you. The Duchess of York turned up in Palm Beach and gave a speech where she said that, one breast was called Eric and one was called Derek, and she got paid a fortune. For goodness sakes, pull yourself together, woman. You're meant to remember the royal family. Have some dignity. She's an absolute piece of rubbish. She should shut her mouth. She is a piece of filth and scum, and she's a toe rag. Absolutely appalling. But of course, she'd rather have her toe sucked. So that's where we leave the Duchess of York. Right. Right. Well, Keeley says, my autistic son is chatting away to me, so I'm missing a lot. We'll catch up in a bit. Well, I hope you have a good conversation with your autistic son, but I don't know what that means, why we're hearing this. But I hope that your autistic son is help and well. I hope I don't know what to say. That's a bizarre comment. I don't get that comment. I don't know if that's meant to mean something. Right. You're reading a great book. Prince Andrew Epstein at the Palace, Nigel Cawthorne. Do you know of it? I do know of Nigel Cawthorne's book, yes. Yes, he makes relevant points. I'll leave it at that. That's all I shall say about that book. Right. Farage, the deformed party for Sun readers. Yeah. think he speaks a load of old horse shit. There we go. Doesn't Farage flip-flop on his positions? If he wants to be the UK Trump, he better stay true to patriot positions, says Sun 848. Anyway, yes. If Mr. Farage, as in garage, wants to be, Mr. Big, he needs to man up, grow up, and show up. He needs to stop flip-flopping around and having little petty rows. Having a row with this Rupert Lowe, he's only got him and his five little friends. Oh dear, let's have a little hissy fit without my friend. It's like a playground row. It's pathetic. Come on, Farage. Grow up, man up, show up, be yourself. Stop being a little whinging whiner. And it's no wonder Elon Musk had a go at you and said that this Rupert Lowe would make a better leader of this party. I agree with Elon Musk. Get rid of Farage as in garage if you want to have a leader of that ragbag of ridiculousness. We've got 30p Lee, the man who thought that we could all live on 30p a day to eat. He's a fucking idiot. He's a fucking absolute moron. Then we've got the man who went to prison because, oh dear, he did a bit of slapping around and a bit of assault. So he's a convicted criminal. And then we've got Richard Tice, unenticing Tice. I've seen him scavenging around on the yellow stickers in the supermarket. I love a yellow sticker, but he's a real old grifter. And, he is a man who dates Elizabeth Oakeshott, really. Isabella Oakeshott or whatever she's called. She is awful. She's the worst journalist on the planet. So the quality of the colleagues is very bad. So Mr. Lowe, I'm going to try and call him tomorrow. And then I'll let you know if he answers my call. Because I'd like to speak to Mr. Lowe and see if he has an opinion. Because now Mr. Lowe has been thrown out of reform. Maybe Mr. Lowe might be a reasonable man. He has been the chairman of a football club. He has run businesses. I've read his tweets. I think Mr. Lowe is the only sensible one. And he's been treated in a similar fashion as the Hamiltons were treated by Farage, as in garage. The horrible Farage is a piece of dirt. So there we go. And I can tell you this. I'll tell you a story. So Mr. Farage lived in Elliston Street, Chelsea, courtesy of Mr. Aaron Banks, who, of course, Carol Waddler of The Guardian, now no longer of The Guardian, exposed. Now, Mr. Farage, as in garage, walked into the brasserie and he sat himself down with his 10 bodyguards. At the same time, I had 10 bodyguards, courtesy of Mr. James Stunt, because I had been, the enemy of the people and taking Brexit to the Supreme Court. So there we were, rival groups of bodyguards. There was no rivalry because, quite frankly, I didn't need bodyguards. The bodyguards I was with were mostly outside in the car. But there we go. He came in with all his bodyguards. And he sat down and he said to the waiter, get me whatever. It was breakfast. So he said, "Get me." He's very rude. He's a very, very rude man. He doesn't say please. He doesn't say thank you. He's extremely rude. I don't like people who are rude. And the waiters in this restaurant, well, they just, have to do their job. They don't engage in the same way I would. I don't like people who don't say please and thank you. I think it's unacceptable. And he, the little rat, Farage, as in garage, he upset them. So I'm afraid the waiter said, "Sir, I don't wish to serve you." This is a totally true story. And he then got angry. He said, "Get me the manager." So the manager comes over. He said, "You're immigrant." And this is the way he speaks. He is an extremely rude man. He said, "This immigrant won't serve me." And the manager said, "I'm an immigrant too, and I won't serve you." He said, "Get the owner." The owner came over. The owner is now dead. The restaurant has since closed, but after 50 years. And the owner said, "Mr. Farage, we don't want you in our restaurant. Get out." And that owner of that restaurant spoke for the nation. Well done to Peter of the brasserie, who spoke for the nation, because Mr. Farage is a piece of dirt. He is a nasty right-wing fascist creep. I don't like Mr. Farage. He's a horrible, vile piece of rubbish. And it's right that people speak out against people like him. He is a piece of rotten rubbish. He's evil, he's vile, he's sick in the head, he's just a grifter who's trying to make money off other people. It's appalling, and it makes me feel sick. It really does upset me what Mr. Farage is trying to do to our world. So we have to speak out against Farage, as in garage. He's not Nigel Farage. He's Nigel Farage, okay? So let's stick with the truth on him. So there we go. Right. Amanda says, "I loathe people who are rude to staff." So do I. You have to be always polite to the staff. My grandparents have always taught me that. You never, ever abuse staff. Staff are family. You treat the staff better than you treat your own brother and sister. It's very important. Always. Never, ever be abusive to a member of staff. It's an appalling thing to do. Yes. Right, I totally agree with you. He is a toe rag. Yes, you concur. Wonderful. Rupert Lowe is an ethno-nationalist, which is what is needed as a leader and prime minister. So he's Pink Rose. I don't know what that means, but I don't know. But I'm going to try and call up this Rupert Lowe and have a conversation with him, because I think maybe I should have a conversation with him, because anything is better than this ghastly Nigel Farage. He's awful. Farage is an appalling person. I've had enough of him. It's time that he was stopped. I am furious about Mr. Farage. He is far enough. We've gone far enough, yes, and you all agree. Yes, thank you. That's wonderful that you agree. That's I'm not alone in my views. Mr. Farage needs to be thrown into the sea. He's a disgusting profiteer. He makes me very angry, and I don't like people like that. I'm very sorry to say it, but I like freedom of speech, but his kind of views are sick in the head. The man is cuckoo. I think he's got some brain disease. There's something mental about him. He needs shooting, or he'll shoot himself. Oh, I'm not allowed to say that, of course, because I'm on. If I were on Sean Atwood's channel, I'll get told off. So I better not say that. So no, I do apologise. I shouldn't have said that he needs shooting. No, that was a little bit extreme. I do apologise, but no, he is mentally unhinged. He's completely insane. He's completely loopy. Yes, he's like Starmer. I don't like Starmer, the farmer harmer. Anyone who goes around hurting farmers makes me very upset. My father's a farmer. Farming is the most glorious profession. Looking after the land is a beautiful thing to do. So don't harm the farmers. Please leave the farmers alone. And as for hurting the pensioners, turning off their heating, Rachel Thieves, you queen of thieves, you're an absolute bitch. Shame on you. You're disgusting. You make me feel very angry. But I can't get angry because I'm not allowed to get angry, because if I get angry, I'll get banned. There we go. Right. Please get Rupert Lowe on with you. Okay, well, I'd like to speak with Rupert Lowe. Maybe I'll give Rupert Lowe a tinkle tankle and I'll have a bit of chit chat with him if he is prepared to speak with me. I was on the phone yesterday to Christine Hamilton, and Christine has been very much wronged by Nigel Farage. She doesn't like Mr. Farage because of what happened with her husband and their situation, because, of course, Neil was involved with Mr. Farage himself. He was the leader of UKIP in Wales. So there we go. We all hate nonsense. We all hate the woke. We all agree. We're all right. We're semi-right wing people. All of us here. I don't think anyone's going to be watching me who is lefty or woke, because, well, I do say things that are a bit controversial. So, we're all on the same page, other than, one or two. But I have tolerance for everybody. So I say cheers to you all. But there we go. Socio Mario says we're no longer able to say anything. Well, here I am, and I am saying what I want. And I'm glad you're all saying what you want. Violet, it doesn't bother me. Amazing how badly behaved people are. People are feeling more negative these days. Drivers can be awful. What kind of drivers? What are they driving? I don't know. Josie, what kind of cars are they driving? I'm not sure. Sam Ormar says, I learned the hard way. Police were knocking at my door over my hurty words. What hurty words did you use, Sam Ormar? Right. You upset people with your words. You said something bad. Oh dear. Well, I'm very sorry to hear that. That's a rather shocking situation. I don't know what to say. I couldn't possibly comment, but there we are. Right. So I'm going to start my first topic of the evening, which is a very shocking topic. It's a topic close to my heart, and anyone who wants to mock this topic or be rude, bog off now, because This is a person I care about, a family I care about, the Lubbock family, the murder of Stuart Lubbock in 2001. Michael Barrymore has yet again started up again. Michael Barrymore cannot shut his bloody trap. Michael Barrymore is the biggest pain in the arse on the planet. He is now being what the Daily Mail call a TikTok star, and he's got what he calls revenge mentality. Revenge mentality by a man who allowed what happened in his home in March 2001 to occur. Shame on him. Shame on this piece of scum. He is an absolute scumbag piece of shit. He's disgusting. He has said on his little TikTok, which he seems to be doing lots of videos on with his new little boyfriend, whoever he is, anyone who has done me dirty are dead or dying. Hope you're dead. You hope you're dead. This is my inner monologue, 24/7. Can you imagine writing that when you have had someone die in your swimming pool? That is a very strange thing to write. Is he sick in the head, or is he just thick? Or is he just nasty? Stuart Lubbock was murdered. 9 people went to a house at that party on the March 2001, and 8 of them lived. What he did was appalling. And he thinks it's right to write, anyone who has done me dirty are dead or dying. What does that mean? That's not a nice thing to write. It's not a clever thing to write in his position. There were 3 women there. They couldn't have done the crime. So that takes the number of possibles down a lot. It's a bit like Agatha Christie. You have to work out the odds. It's impossible that it could have been the women because of the way the man, Mr. Lubbock, Stuart Lubbock, was murdered. It could not have been murdered by a woman because of the way he was raped before his murder. And it's in very poor taste, says many people, the Daily Mail. Kevin Lubbock, his brother, this is the comment he gave. It's very sad to hear most of Barrymore's time is taken up with this nonsense on TikTok. And it is nonsense. I totally agree with Kevin. In later years, you would think he had something better to do. Many fans, I don't know why there are fans, but there we go, won't know of the horrific circumstances of my brother's death. But as a role model on TikTok, his time could be better spent on discouraging his time. It could be better spent on in discouraging fans on the dangers of substance abuse. This is what led to the demise of his career and the tragic death of my brother. The man is toxic. He's a disgrace. Shame on him. He calls himself Uncle Michael. He wants to call himself wholesome. He films himself playing a game called I Spy. He calls it the Colour Walk game. It's revolting. He drives round in a £75,000 Porsche. McCann. He films himself in a lavatory. It's disgusting. He films himself on the shitter, the bog. It's absolutely revolting. 10 million people watch these videos. Sick in the head. What's wrong with this man? He has a company called Made by Dave Limited. It's been dormant since 2021. He goes around with a whippet called Laura. He lives in Acton since 2009. He went to live in Barcelona, but that didn't work out. He couldn't figure that out. That didn't quite work out for him. One fan said, the pool thing is fake news. He's the sweetest man. Well, the pool thing is not fake news. It's not fake news in one bit way. Stuart Lubbock died on the 31st of March, 2001, in that swimming pool. He was murdered in that swimming pool. And it's disgusting and wrong. You didn't like him, says Violet. Well said, Violet. I totally agree with you. Julie says, you are a very decent chap. Thank you. Mary Page says, Michael Barrymore should be in jail. I totally agree with you. I think Michael Barrymore has lied and deceived. And, 9 people went to his house, 8 of them lived, and he ran away. He ran away. He is a coward. He is a creep. He's a cretin. He's the absolute piece of scum. I don't care. Michael Barrymore, sue me. I want you to sue me, Barrymore. I'd love you to take me to court with your Porsche Macan. You disgust. You are the sickest piece of scumbag on the planet. Those poor children have lost their father. Terry Lubbock lost his son. For the rest of his life, he tried to get justice for his child. So Barrymore, man up, show up, sue me, Barrymore. I'd love it. I'd absolutely love to be sued by Michael Barrymore. You're not going to get anything off me anyway, so bog off. You're an absolute creep. So let's bring it on. It is not fake news, no. But these people who are his fans, they say the pool thing is fake news. His little TikTok fans say it never happened. Well, of course it did. At the bungalow in Roydon, in Essex, that's exactly what happened. It was a terrible thing that happened. So they think he is the sweetest man on the planet. This is where they become even more delusional, these freaks. This bunch of fruitcakes. One of them said, oh, isn't he Drew Barrymore's father? He's a homosexual. He's got nothing to do with Drew Barrymore. How ridiculous. But this is what they wrote in the Daily Mail today. He could be Drew Barrymore's father. No, Drew Barrymore's father is an entirely different person, as we all know. So this is where it becomes laughable, ludicrous, and absolutely beyond the pale. This creep, Barrymore, is trying to pull up another little scam like he always did with his silly little entertainment shows. And a man called Gregor Kuby, who was a PR man, Borokowski PR, he has some views. What he had to say is, who is helping him? This isn't just an old guy making videos and just posting them on TikTok. He knows the visual language. He knows how to cut TikTok content so it goes viral. His TikTok looks as if they have been made by a Gen Z, or whatever you call it, Gen Z. There is someone behind his TikTok account who knows what they are doing. Is he making money on TikTok, though? It is tricky to monetize. Although there is small payment for each videos, the bigger providers upload the true returns come from the major brand endorsements, which he doesn't have. But they reckon he's building a brand. Who is helping the cretin? Who is helping this cretin? Because he's a cretin. He is a piece of filth. He's a disgusting, shameful piece of junk. And I want to put a stop to Michael Barrymore making money, because I support the Lubbock family, and it is terrible that he cannot tell the truth about what happened in that bungalow in Roydon in Essex all those years ago. Until you tell the truth, Michael Barrymore, a man who got down on his knees and worshipped Jimmy Savile, got down on your knees and begged to Jimmy Savile, a man who dressed up as Hitler on television. You thought it was funny to dress up as Hitler, a man who rolled around on the floor with Baroness Marie Claire, a convicted, appalling racist, also a woman who upset Lady Roth, Jackie Roth. You are disgusting. You are an absolutely shameful man, and I want to put a stop to you, Barrymore. You are an appalling, sick in the head, rotten to your core piece of shit. Shame on you. You are the most disgusting man. You dress up as Hitler. You worship Jimmy Savile. And you do what you did. You ran away from the scene of a crime, of a murder, of a poor innocent man who was a father of 2 children at your own home, because you didn't want to face up to the consequences for whatever you did that night. So you make me violently sick in the head. I am very angry with you, and I'm not going to be quiet. So there we go. Anyway, I'm very sorry, viewers. I do tend to get a little passionate on this topic, but today, this was something I had to talk about, because the minute I saw it in the Daily Mail, they were right. They did a great article. You know, why should he be a star on TikTok? Why should anyone be interested in this creep ever again? He is like Philip Schofield and Hugh Edwards. Consign these creeps to history. They are a collection of creeps. What this man, though, did was worse than the other two, because somebody died, the father of 2 children. And I met the grandfather of those children, and that man wanted justice for his son's murder. And Barrymore lied and lied again. He even lied about what his ex-wife, who also, poor her, she was treated badly. Old Cheryl was another victim of this story. Cheryl Barrymore was a decent lady, humiliated live on national television because of this creep. This man is a shocking, shameless piece of toe rag. Absolutely appalling. And I am not going to shut up. I'm not giving up. It doesn't matter how much anyone tells me to shut up. Was Savile a friend of Charles? That's not relevant to the story. I'm talking about Barrymore. Savile and Barrymore were friends. I don't care about the friendship of Prince Charles with anybody. That's not relevant to the story. Who is protecting King Charles? Oh, no. Please, no. It's nothing to do with the king, please. That's got absolutely nought to do with this story. So please, all of you, it's not funny that you all stop bringing that in. Barrymore was friends with Diana, oh, therefore King Charles and Savile were doing this. No. Barrymore met Mr. Lubbock in a nightclub. That's all that happened. It's no conspiracy. Let's not throw a conspiracy into this nonsense. I am not going down the route of other channels where they tend to do that. There is no conspiracy here. What happened is Mr. Lubbock was at a nightclub and he was in a group, and, young people, when you see someone famous, and he happened to meet him, and he joined the group. And then he said, come to my house. And, well, if you'd been invited to the house, you'd have probably gone. It was just how it was. It's a different era. This was 2001. This is well before TikTok and Instagram and all of that. So no conspiracy. Please, I don't need any more of your Prince Charles conspiracy. And it wasn't Diana and it wasn't King Charles. So leave them out of it. There's nothing to do with them. Absolute rubbish. And Jimmy Savile had nothing to do with the death. Jimmy Savile came later when Barrymore was trying to get himself forgiven when he was in the program called Big Brother. That was where he came into the story. And Cheryl came at a different point when there was a book. So no, none of them were involved in that particular night. The March the 31st, 2001, that simply involved Stuart Lubbock and the 9 people who went to the house. So there we go. I think that these crazy conspiracy theories are nuts. This is exactly what we get with this fake Madeline, a load of rubbish. You talk a load of nonsense, and then I have to try and debunk it. There's no point in me trying to debunk a load of nonsense.
Why did they shove him back in Australia?
Lady Min wants to say, why was he thrown out of Australia? Well, he was thrown out of Australia because he went bankrupt, but that's a different story. That's not relevant to this story either. So thank you for your comment, but that's not a relevant comment either. Right. I think they're being mean. He's being protected. Right. Okay. Well, you think people are being mean to him? Well, why does he go on the internet, this creep, and say, anyone who has done me dirty are going to be dead or dying? Hope you're dead. When somebody died in his swimming pool and he ran away from the scene of the crime before the police arrived and allowed his agent to clear up the dirty evidence. So, no, shame on you. Whoever you are, you're a piece of rubbish. So bog off. You're a creep. Don't like you. So shut them out. Shut the mouth. Don't come back here again. Piss off. Right. I don't like people who upset the Lubbock family, because Terry Lubbock was a lovely gentleman and I spent time with him, and all that poor man wanted, he said, before I die, I want justice for my dead son. He never got it. So any of you people that come here and have a pop at him, I'm speaking on his behalf. I will say, leave him alone. He had 2 children, this man. So Terry had 2 grandchildren. They've never seen they didn't have a father as they grew up. That's a cruel thing to take that away from that poor man. And I get very emotional when I talk about him because Sue Homan, a lovely lady who was married to Stuart, she is a courageous lady and she tries to speak out. She deserves justice too. All of them deserve justice. So don't you come here making fun of the situation. It's not a funny situation in any regard. So shame on you, whoever you are. Bog off. I don't really like people like you. Awful. I misread the comment. Oh, did I indeed? I don't misread anything. Please, it's absolutely horrifying and appalling. Yes, K-Rob, as you say. But seriously, don't leave nasty little comments about this family. This family are victims of injustice. And I like to talk about many people who have suffered terrible things. And I do. But I stand by those people and I don't mock the situation. It's not funny, so don't make jokes out of it. Please, seriously, go away, whoever you are. Bog off. I don't like it. Sorry, not going to tolerate it. Precisely as Cult Television, my good old friend Cult Television, it's not funny. There we go. It is absolutely shocking and disgusting to make fun of this family. And Michael Barrymore is trying to make money out of all of this via his TikTok. Well, he should have his TikToked off. He's an absolute twat. I can't stand the man. He's absolutely making me violently angry because the Lubbock family have suffered enough. It's too much. He's going too far. Just because he wants a Porsche Macan that costs £75,000, he thinks that he can go around saying these disgusting words, which I don't like. Anyone who's done the dirty on me are going to be dead or dying. I hope you're dead. It's my inner monologue 24/7. What is wrong with him? It's horrible what he's doing. He is trying to pile more misery on that poor family. It's absolutely sickening. Wouldn't you agree, Lady Min?
Yeah.
Lady
Yes,
Min,
my boy.
Lady Min agrees. We don't like Michael Barrymore. Michael Barrymore makes me feel violently angry. Right. Wow, you've made it tonight. Okay. I'm not going to repeat myself much further. What is wrong with the justice system, says Josie. I would think there's a lot wrong with the justice system because Barrymore was one of 9 people who went to a house on the 31st of March, 2001, and 8 of them lived. Why has not one of them been charged? His boyfriend, he came close to being charged, has seemed to not be. They're no longer together. He's now a taxi driver or he's driving instructor. He was a lorry driver for a while. He's got a history of violence. Interesting little chap he is. The 3 women, they couldn't have done it. Impossible. The 3 women cannot be the criminals. So we reduce, if you like Agatha Christie, like me, Miss Marple, you reduce the suspects because it's impossible. It was the women because of the way the poor man died. So let's get to the bottom of the story. Let's get, and the word bottom, unfortunately, is a major part of the story. I'm sorry, that's a terrible thing, but it's a key part of the story. But let's be honest here. We all know the truth. Man up, grow up, more Barrymore. Piers Morgan gave you a pass and let you have your little interview, and you can do your little crying game on the TV and go, I'm the victim. You're not a victim. You're a coward who ran away from the scene of a crime. You're a shameful piece of toe rag. Barrymore, you are a piece of dirt. Sue me. Come on, challenge me. I'd love to debate you. Do whatever you want, Barrymore. You like to go on your TikTok, so why don't you come and face me? Okay, Barrymore, I challenge you today. Come and face me. Wouldn't you say? Barrymore, come on my program. I will sit with you and we'll talk. I will ask you questions about the 9 people who went to a party and 8 of them lived. And if you can answer those questions and you answer them in a way that is satisfactory, I'll shut up. So come on, Michael Barrymore. Here's your chance. Man up, grow up, and show up, Barrymore. I want you, Barrymore, to show up, man up, and grow up. I bet you won't. So I give you 48 hours. So if we don't have an answer by the 11th of March, then we know you're a complete coward and a complete liar. So I give you till the 11th of March. Today is the 9th of March, Sunday the 9th of March, 21 hours in 21:15 hours in France. So I give you till 21:15 hours on the 11th of March. So I give you 48 hours, Barrymore. Lady Min is a witness to this, yes?
Yes.
And we want you, Barrymore. We want you to come and face me. We will find a way to make the television work, and we can talk to you direct, Mr. TikTok. TikTok, 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 TikTok. So, Mr. Barrymore, I know you're watching this because I know you're a complete creep. You're a famous obsessive. We want to take you on, so we will. Barrymore is a coward. He won't show up. Well, we don't know. Let's give Barrymore a chance. I think that is enough to be said. So if any of you out there have communications with Barrymore, could you please communicate with him? Please communicate with Barrymore and tell him we would like to speak with Barrymore. He's a gutless coward. He won't meet you. The CPS are a joke, yes. I really had enough of going on about this. It's boring. It's absolutely dull. The best thing to do is to speak with the coward. Because 9 people went to a house. 8 of them lived. It's like 10 little niggers, the Agatha Christie thing, which you're not allowed to call 10 little niggers. Oops, I did it again. I used a terrible phrase. There we go. But, he goes out there and he thinks it's all funny to say, things like, anyone who has done the dirty on me should be dead. Hope you're all dead. When someone died in his swimming pool, the man is sick in the head. There's something cuckoo boom in the brain. He needs to be dealt with. And the Lubbock family are a lovely family. And I challenge this creep. I give him 48 hours, as I said. No one will turn up in his door. I don't know where he lives. I believe he lives in Acton, West London, but I don't know where. He was living in Barcelona, but he didn't like it there because his dog didn't like it or something. There was something on some silly video he made. Challenge him to a duel. Well, I have challenged him to turn up, Jack Smith. So, yes, I have challenged him. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
I want him to show up, man up, grow up, and I will put him on here with me, and I will say to him what I think, and he can give me his answers. I'm not going to be rude to him. You know, I give him the right to reply. I am just going to ask him the questions. He's a horrific person, to say his best. I totally agree. But no, he needs to answer my questions. I've been asking these questions now for, well, it's over 6 or 7 years. You know, today was the anniversary of coronavirus beginning. So it was long before coronavirus I started. So it's at least 6 years, it's probably 7, maybe 8. Right. It sounds like a threat that he's saying. Is he trying to repeat what he did before? I don't know what you mean. Sorry, I have no idea what that means. I hope someone lets him know of your challenge. Well, go on his TikTok, please. Pip, please go on his TikTok if you're willing, because I don't use TikTok. Send him a message. Give him my email address, editorial@thesteepletimes.com. My telephone number, I probably shouldn't give that out on the internet. That's not a good idea. Just tell him to send me an email. Editorial@thesteepletimes.com. That is the easiest way. That's a general email, generic email. Please. One of you could please go on his TikTok. There's lots of you here. I don't want to hurt his feelings. No. Sorry, I'm trying to hurt his feelings. No. He gave a party for 9 people. 8 of them lived. That's the hurt that was caused. A father of 2 children, the son of a lovely man, died. That's what actually is hurtful, not anything else. Hurty words. I can't be bothered with your hurty words. No, absolutely not. Right, right. Maybe Netflix should do a documentary, buy out the witnesses, get the case files. Well, Channel 4 made their program, Body in the Pool. Who knows? They're probably not really ready for another program on the topic. I don't know. Sam Zor says, hi, Michael Barrymore. Well, Michael Barrymore isn't here, so I don't know why you're saying hi, Michael Barrymore. But now we've got someone coming on here, another troll. Thank you very much. You're pretending to be Michael Barrymore. Yes, I know. How absolutely fabulous of you. Well, welcome to the room, you silly little fool. Now do on and bug off, whoever you are. That's not nice. Don't mock the Lubbock family. Shame on you, whoever you are. Well, I'm here. Oh, you are Michael Barrymore. Okay. Right, you're claiming to be Michael Barrymore, right? Cult Television says he's not. Michael Barrymore says, what do I want to say? Harriet is deleting you. I don't think you are Michael Barrymore, please. So please stop it. Michael Barrymore here in this chat, I don't believe it. Okay, well, let's give Michael Barrymore a chance to chat. Harriet, let him in. Harriet, give the creep a chance. Let's It's a fool, of course, but someone's pretending to be him, but we could give him a chance. He needs to be on screen, not chat. Okay, well, okay, yes, correct. Let's say, Mr. Michael Barrymore, we've already offered you 48 hours, 21:15 hours on the 11th of March, 48 hours from now. We give you the chance to return and chat with us. Barrymore, Michael Barrymore. I don't want any of your agents. I don't want any of your PR people. I don't want your TikTok. I don't want you shove it up your jumper, whatever you do, your stupid boyfriend or your PR man or your gobbledygook. Michael Barrymore, I want to speak with you directly. Barrymore, you piece of rubbish. I'd like to speak with you and I'd like to ask you some questions. So man up, grow up and show up, Barrymore. I've given you the challenge. I don't know how to contact you other than your TikTok. And I don't do TikTok because I'm not TikToking. You're TikToking away because, quite frankly, it's TikToking away for you for the crimes that went on at your home that no one has managed to explain. Now, I'm not saying that you are guilty of those crimes, but I would like to talk to you about those crimes that went on at your home, your bungalow. It's not a mansion, in Roydon, Essex, on the 31st of March 2001. I would like to have a little conversation with you about why you ran away from the scene of a crime. Why 9 people went to a house and only 8 of them lived. And allegedly there were 9 people, but there could have been more, but this is the evidence that was given. So I would like to know why you can't tell the truth, Barrymore. So man up, big up and shut. And also why that your late wife said that you could swim when you told the police that you could not swim. Very interesting. And why did you have a swimming pool in your garden if you couldn't swim? Very curious that too, isn't it? There's many very curious questions, Barrymore, who likes to dress up as dress up to worship as Hitler and worship at the feet of Jimmy Savile. You are a shocking, awful man, but I would like to challenge you, but I'm prepared to have a little debate with you. So I give you 48 hours, mate. I'll call you mate because I know I don't like the word mate. So I reserve the word mate for people I don't like. So Barrymore, man up, grow up and show up. You were very good at showing up for, Big Brother, weren't you? So come on, you're very good at showing up for TikTok. You do it every 25 minutes. So come on, what does Lady Min say?
He's lost his personality. He's lost his looks. He's a nobody anymore.
He's a nobody. But no, she's missing the point. We need him to show up. Yes?
Yes.
We want him in 48 hours. So Barrymore, we give you a chance. Editorial at thesteepletimes.com. We're not corresponding with you via TikTok. We've given you an email address. We give you a chance. Yes? And as for all the viewers, sorry, I want this to be a challenge. My allegations are foundless. Thank you, Mr. Barrymore. Right, okay. So if you're Michael Barrymore, really, respond. Send us an email, Barrymore. Right. Come on, Mr. Barrymore. I have no proof. Right. Well, I'm not interested in, I'm not going to quote any further comments from the person pretending to be Michael Barrymore or allegedly Michael Barrymore. If you are Michael Barrymore, send me an email. Send me your phone number. I will phone you. I will get you on the phone and we will arrange a time to do an interview. Wouldn't you agree, Min?
Yes.
Yes. And we will have you on this channel live and I will ask you some questions, Barrymore, and I will ask you about why 9 people went to a house and only 8 of them lived. That's all that matters, Barrymore. So stop sending stupid messages. You do this type of thing to act tough, says Michael Barrymore, allegedly, Michael Barrymore. You're a bag of hot air. No, I've challenged you, Barrymore, if you are Barrymore. Send me your telephone number, you coward. You're a cowardy custard. Pathetic. I'm a bag of hot air. Cult TV says it isn't Barrymore. Yes, we know it isn't Barrymore. The man's a complete pest. If you are Barrymore, send me a message. Do it now. Don't engage with the trolls, says Claire. Anyway, right. We're moving along. I've had enough of this moment. I need another drink. So I'm going to have another whiskey. I think I've got quite hot up enough, but it doesn't matter. But no, we give the creep 48 hours. I'm going to have a whiskey. And why shouldn't I? Because I deserve it. I think I've had 1.5 hours of talking about this, and this piece of creep has dared to be a complete creep and pretend whoever this person is, they must be sick in the head because they're not Michael Barrymore. We all know that. I'm not that stupid, am I? I wasn't born in a barn. I wasn't born yesterday. But if Michael Barrymore is out there, I challenge you, Michael Barrymore, the 11th of March, I want to debate you. I want to debate you, Barrymore, on this topic. Why did 9 people go to your bungalow and only 8 of them live? And you ran away like the cowardy custard. So, seriously, I really would love to do this debate because you're doing all this TikTok, and making a lot of money to pay for your Porsche Macan, your £75,000 car. Yet there are 2 children who've grown up with no father. You're disgusting. So, no, I really, really, really want to do this. So, man up, Barrymore. And I know you've got your little trolls watching because why would I have people writing comments to me? There would be no reason for these comments unless somebody was one of your little supporters, would there? So please, can one of you people watching send him a message on this TikTok, and tell him, come on, face him. I'm prepared to do it. I'm ready to do it. Editorial at thesteepletimes.com. I want to face the crook. And what does Lady Min say about that?
Yes, I think
yes, we need him to rock up, and we will have an audience with us, and the audience will give their views. We will get some of our local friends to be in the audience, and they will share their views in the background. We will allow him to have whoever he wants in his background, and they can share their views in the background to defend him. I am not trying to be the court of human rights here, the court of, Hitler or whatever, but I have had enough of Mr. Barrymore pulling these little stunts. He is an absolute scumbag, and he hides behind all of this. And, what I've seen from this thing today is even more sickening than his normal activity. He is disgusting, but let's try and challenge him. Barrymore, man up, grow up, and show up. There we go. Anyway, I know many of you like a quiz, so we'll have a quiz. Right. There's a picture of him with Keith Bishop. There we go, Keith Bishop Associates. There we are. Right. Cult television does tend to know lots of things. Anyway, we're going to do our little quiz. If anyone is ready to help me with the quiz. Is Harriet ready to help with the quiz? Bess says good evening to Lady Min.
Who?
Bess.
Good evening.
She says good evening to you.
Love.
And love. Oh, right. Okay, you get love. My gosh, that's the first. Right, Cult Television loves quiz time. Right. Right. So the first question is, which Radio 4 series reached its 300th episode on the 8th of March, which was yesterday? It wasn't The Archers, no. The Archers has been going since 1941, so of course there would be many more than 300. No, so you're all incorrect. You're absolutely useless. It wasn't Jim Will Fix It, Cult Television. You say you're equally useless. It wasn't Woman's Out, so you're all way out. It wasn't Gardener's World. It wasn't the Top 40, whatever that is. No, so I will take no answers on that. So you've all got no point. The answer was the kitchen cabinet, Jay Rayner. It was the Jay Rayner's kitchen cabinet. So nobody gets a point. So you've all failed. So 0 points awarded. Right. What type of savoury pancake is associated with North Staffordshire? And I love these. You can buy them from Sainsbury's online. The most wonderful things. You just fry them. What type of savoury pancake is associated with North Staffordshire? It's not a potato cake. I love a potato cake. They are wonderful things. I haven't had one of those in years. Simon Coates is the winner. So Simon Coates gets the first point. Good old Simon Coates. It is a Staffordshire oat cake. Okay.
What was it?
It's a Staffordshire oat cake.
Oh, oat cake.
And you can put all sorts of things on it. I put cheese on it normally, and it's delicious. Absolutely lovely things. What is the Christian name, and Lady Min is not to interrupt, of the President Zelensky? What is the Christian name of the President Zelensky? Joyce gets it with Volodymyr. But Harriet is going to be our guide. I don't know. Is Harriet going to be our guide for the points? Otherwise, I'll have to start writing them all down. Right. Is Harriet going to write down the points? Yes, she says. So we've got 1 point for one and 1 point for another. Right. The next question is, which American president described the Soviet Union as the evil empire? Which American president described the the Soviet Union as the evil empire? It was not John F. Kennedy. But Sam Arama got it with Reagan. Well said, Sam Arama. So Sam Arama gets the point. Well done to Sam Arama. Please note that down, Harriet. Thank you. What career did Ronald Reagan have before entering politics?
Movie star.
We have shouting in the background, but the winner, you're all immediately on the go. Miss Marple wins the point because Miss Marple was the quickest with actor. He was an actor. Where are the ashes of Margaret and Dennis Thatcher buried? Where in London are they buried? They're not buried in the Maldives, Highgate, Westminster. They're not buried in Highgate Cemetery, Huntingdon, Hampstead, Kent. No, in London, I say.
Kensington.
They're not buried in St. Paul's, Wimbledon, Westminster. No,
You know.
We need a specific answer. Violet is close with Chelsea. You're getting close. Paula Massey says Chelsea Barracks. They're not in the Chelsea Barracks, but they are close to the Chelsea Barracks. The winner is Thracian Grapes with the Royal Hospital. The Royal Hospital, Chelsea. So, of course, Margaret Thatcher, there is the Margaret Thatcher Infirmary, which was supported by my friends Gina and Alan Miller at the Royal Hospital. So they are buried there. And I do like to go and visit there, the bench next to where they are, because Margaret was a very dear person in my life. So I was a very lucky person to know Margaret Thatcher. And she was one of the most wonderful people in the world. She transformed the world. So I have nothing but joy to say about such a great lady. Anyway, right, the next question. Other than Margaret Thatcher's funeral, which state funeral for a former prime minister was the only other that the late Queen Elizabeth II attended? Which other funeral did the Queen attend? The winner immediately is Pipfield with Churchill. Pipfield gets the point. Well done, Pipfield. Well done, Pipfield. It was in 1965. What is JSA an abbreviation for? JSA. We need the full description. It's a government description. If you Bazam Arama gets it with job seekers allowance. It's job seekers allowance. Okay, in which year was the Peroni Brewery founded by Francesco Peroni? You know, anyone who drinks Peroni, you may have seen it on the bottle. It's an easy question. It wasn't 1934, it wasn't 1776, it wasn't 1880, it wasn't 1895, it wasn't 1934, it wasn't 1781, it wasn't 1824. Now, all of your answers thus far are completely useless. Thracian Grapes gets it with 1846. So you must have been good at the Google, or you're just a person who drinks Peroni and you've got a bottle in front of you. So well done to you. Right. Who was the self-promoting gadabout Lizzie Cundy formerly married to? Lizzie Cundy, who was she married to before she put herself about on GB News and all the rest of it? No, his name. We need his name. It wasn't Michael Barrymore, no, and it wasn't Fergie. It wasn't Peter Crouch.
Peter Sellers.
Freshie and Grapes gets it with Jason Cundy. Yes, he was a footballer. Yes, Jason. Yes. So there we go. He wasn't married to Cilla. She wasn't married to Cilla Black, but frankly, the knicker flasher and her. It wasn't Simon Cowell, though. She would have probably preferred that because there's a bit more wonga wonga. Anyway, there we go. Who presents BBC Radio 4's Broadcasting House on each and every Sunday? There's your next question. Who presents Broadcasting House? One of my favourite shows of the week. 9 a.m. till 10 a.m. on a Sunday. Who presents it? It's not Chris Moyles, no. I think I've got you all flummoxed. The Fressian Grapes gets it immediately with Paddy O'Connell. We love Paddy O'Connell. He's one of the best. It wasn't Pete Murray and it wasn't Tony Blackburn. No, it wasn't Alan Titchmarsh. But no, Fressian Grapes wins the point. What activity is the Fastnet race associated with? The Fastnet race. What kind of activity is it to do with? The winner is Joyce Grove with yachting. Well done. Sponsored by Rolex since 2001. It starts in Cowes. It finishes in Plymouth until 2019. Now in Cherbourg since 2021. And of course in Howard's Way, the lovely Lynn, a favourite of Lady Min, she was involved in an incident where the lady broke her arm, but they still won the prize in the Fastnet race, which of course is a very interesting race. There we go. Right, your next question. Which religious group of French Protestants is Nigel Farage, as in garage, Farage, or Nigel Farage, as he calls himself, surname associated with? Which religious group of French Protestants is that man's thing associated with? Right. Joyce gets it immediately with Huguenots. Yes, he claims to be a Huguenot, but we say Farage as in garage. Okay, we're not really that convinced of his origin. Let's be honest. Okay, which industry is the website onthemarket.com associated with? Miss Marple says houses. I will accept houses. Yes, it's a realty. It's estate agents, realty, property things. So onthemarket.com property. Right. Where do Manchester City Football Club have as their home ground stadium? What is the name of their home ground stadium? There are two options. So the winner is Etihad. Yes, you can have that Pajama Arama. The alternative name is the City of Manchester Stadium. It was built to house the 2002 Commonwealth Games, and it was part of the Manchester bid for the Olympics summer things. There we go. And now here's a favourite thing for me. Which firm makes Yorkshire tea? Every morning, Lady Min and I drink Yorkshire tea. She only drinks 1 cup. I normally drink 6. Which firm makes Yorkshire tea? Simon Coates gets the point with Taylors of Harrogate. And they combine flavors of 10 to 20 different teas to create a uniquely balanced and consistent brew. There you go. So there's your little bit of an education about Yorkshire tea. Yorkshire tea is lovely, says Cult Television. Well, my greetings to you in Canada, Cult Television. I know where you are. And Nicola wants to go to Betty's Tea Room. Betty's Tea Room in Harrogate is one of the most lovely places on the planet. I've been there many, many times as a child.
I want to go there.
And Lady Min now wants to go there, so it looks like we're going to motor up there at some point. It's a little bit far to go for today, but yes. Expialidocious still hasn't tried Yorkshire tea. I think you better order some, love. It'd be a good idea. You would like to buy some mini cheddars, says Josie. Well as Yorkshire tea. Well, I think both of those things will bring joy to your life. Yorkshire tea is one of the most absolutely delicious things. It's just simple and ordinary. We have a gardener here. He comes along from a village in the hills and he waters things and he wanders around and he doesn't speak much English. He's a lovely man called Michael and he's now become addicted. He comes round, bangs on the door every morning for a bit of Yorkshire tea. You know, most of these French, they probably want bloody, coffee or something, or a beer, because he likes a beer. I will give him that. He likes a beer also. But he now is addicted, like all of us, to Yorkshire tea. I generally have 3 cups a day. But today I had 6 because I was doing rather a lot of cooking and preparation. But I have to say, Yorkshire tea like it's meant to be. That's what the phrase should be. So there we go. We love Yorkshire tea, do we not, Lady Min?
My mummy brought me up on Thai food.
Her mother brought her up on Thai food. Well, that's a very boring thing to say. That's like drinking grit. Not a very appealing type
Thai
of
food tea is very good.
Thai food tea is appalling. There we are. She's not quite in the same league.
Oh, Yorkshire tea wasn't around then.
Oh, Scylla like Thai food tea. Oh, well, not surprising. Scylla was an advertiser for Thai food tea. Oh my God. Of course, Scylla Black would be the advertiser of crap like that. So there we go. Right, next question. Right, we'll move along. Let's move along quickly. On which street is London's Ritz Hotel located? The Ritz London, because of course there is the Ritz Paris.
Regent Street.
Well, Lady Min shouts out the wrong answer, and she should be quiet anyway because she's not meant to answer the questions, but she's got the wrong answer anyway. It's not on Ritz Street, Cult Television. I thought you might know better. It's not St. James's Street. It's not St. James's Street. No. Simon Coates wins with Piccadilly. Well done to Simon Coates. But honestly, I thought you could do better at Cult Television. Very shocked at you. It wasn't Martini Avenue, no. Okay. Which former... Now, Lady Min, you keep your mouth shut. Which former British Prime Minister died at the Ritz Hotel, London, on the 8th of April, 2013? Which former British Prime Minister died there as a guest of the Barclay brothers? Matt Grant. Oh, no, sorry. Simon Coates was first. It was Margaret Thatcher, yes. Yes. Yes, so you could probably get the point. Harriet is saying, nothing I can do. He calls the winner. I don't know what you mean. What? I'm not going. It wasn't Edward Heath. He didn't die there, no. Heath was a deviant. Well, there we go. Yes, Edward Heath used to live in Broadstairs, but that's a thing for a future day, for a future quiz. There we go. But he was not a nice man. There we are. Okay. The man I worked for. In which year did Maurice Canbar launch Sky Vodka? Which year was Sky Vodka launched? It wasn't 1999. It wasn't any of the years that any of you have had to say. Simon Coates gets it first with 1992. I know some of you are disputing who gets there first, but I only can say who I see on the screen. And I'm very sorry to say it, but I'm very sorry. If I call it out first, the answer is final. I don't need any little argument. This is not the classroom, so stop behaving like petulant children. Whoever you are, stop whinging and whining. Harriet will deal with you. Stop whinging and whining to Harriet. Please, leave Harriet alone. The first one I call out is the first one I see on the screen. Just what comes up. It's only a little quiz. It's not the end of the world. Please don't turn a little quiz into a complete drama. Man up, grow up, and behave yourselves. It's ridiculous. There's no point me. Otherwise, I'll just stop doing this silly little quiz. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous behavior. Don't get angry with one another. I got there first. Well, all I can see is who comes up on the screen first. So whoever comes up on the screen first is the one I call out. So no arguments. Calm yourselves. Calm down. Thank you. I need to be in live chat to see the answers. Well, I am in the chat, and that's where I am. And that's where I am. I'm in the chat, so I don't need to be told what I think. That's it. Never stop the fun. There we go. Harriet says, you tell them. Well, I agree. I will tell it the way I see it, unless one of you wants to run it. But there we go. It's not up to me. And your final question is, what is the name of the Wiltshire bolt hole owned by Queen Camilla? What is the name of Queen Camilla's house? It's not called the Three Lions. No, it's not called the Tart. It's not, that's a bit mean. It's not called the Gin Trap. It's not called Dunroman. It's not called the Royal Oak. Simon Coates gets it correct with Ray Mill House. There we go. And they've just bought the house next door, but I won't bore you with the whole story of what happened to Ray Mill House. But there we go. So our little quiz expert will tell us who is the winner. It's not Highgrove, but she does live at Highgrove, but no, her own house that she actually owns.
That's cool.
Simon Coates is the winner. Well done to Simon Coates. Lady men, raise a glass to
Cheers,
Simon Coates.
Simon.
Simon is the winner. So well done to Simon. How many points did Simon get?
Quite a lot.
Out of 20, how many points did Simon get? Simon Coates thanks Lady Min, but I'd like to know how many points that Simon got. We all need our Simon Coates. There we go. Right. How many points did Simon Coates get? Cult TV has to go. Pip, pip. Right. Well, anyway, if you have some final questions for me, we're now at 1 hour and 55, so it's Sunday evening. I'm very tired from having cooked a whole load of lunch. I'm ready for bed. But if you have a few more questions, Simon Coates got 5 out of 20. Well done. That's still a good. Simon did very well because 5 out of 20, given other people, press quickly, is a very good score. So, what did we have for lunch? We had roast chicken. Right. So, and I'll deal with all the clearing up in the morning. I'm very exhausted. Yeah. Right. So, yes, we had roast chicken. Yes. Josie.
Roast chicken, roast potatoes. We didn't have the leeks.
What do I think if Trump will evoke Harry's visa? I think that Donald Trump will leave Prince Harry alone because he won't want to have a row with King Charles. So of course he won't do that in the future of the royal visit, the state visit to the UK. Of course he's not going to interfere with that. And of course, Keir Starmer is not going to cancel any royal visit. That's something else that people keep asking me. No. We will have a royal visit to Britain by Donald Trump and Melania. God knows how they'll deal with it, but, it's all bonkers. Right. Victoria says, hi, Min. Hi, Matthew. How are you both? Lady
Struggling.
Victoria.
Oh, it's Victoria.
Yes, Vicky the jockey, Vicky the horse.
Hello, Vicky. Wish you were here.
She wishes Victoria was here. Miss Marple says, hello. Yes. Miss Marple.
Hello, Miss Marple.
There we go. Right. No, we don't need Harriet. We can keep going for a little moment. Right. Stevie D says, I fell asleep tonight and missed your chat. Oh dear. Well, Stevie D, we love you. You were very good at all these things. Anyway, next time. Do I like Ascot, Royal Ascot? I'd rather be at Cheltenham, which is next week. I'd love to be there. I should have been there. I've no plans to be there, but Cheltenham is a great festival. The Irish Raiders versus the English. It's one of the most wonderful spectacles of horse racing on the planet. I used to enjoy watching it actually in Broadstairs with my old mates, Max and Alan, and we'd have pizza every day for the whole week. £5 pizza. It was lovely. We used to have a wonderful time. So I miss those good old days in Broadstairs when I did that. So I did that for a couple of years. Before that, I used to watch it elsewhere, but sometimes I was actually there. But no, the Cheltenham Raiders, yeah, it's lovely to watch. It's a great festival. I'm sure Vicky will agree. Victoria is one of the best people I know in horse racing. She's absolutely fabulous. So look up Victoria Haig, one of the best in the West. She's fabulous. Wouldn't you agree, Lady Men?
Who?
Victoria.
Of course.
She's one of the best in horse racing.
Yeah, she's friends with my
Talented lady. So there we go. Have I been to Istanbul? No, I haven't. I'd love to go there, but I haven't. No. Could I tell us about my childhood ghost story? No, I won't. I'll save that for another night, Francis. No, that's not one for tonight. It's very nice of you to ask, but I don't. Do I ride horses? No, I personally don't. I wish I could. I'll leave that to Victoria. Do I believe in ghosts? Yes, definitely. Do I still watch Dad's Army? I haven't seen Dad's Army in years, but I think it's a lovely program. Right. There we go. Right. Right. Okay. Right. Where are we up to with questions? No, I don't want to tell my ghost stories tonight because I'm not really in the mood to talk about that. So that's just another night. You can have that another night. I'll save that one for you for another night. It's rather a scary story. So no, I don't want to talk about ghosts tonight. No. And the haunting and all the rest. No, it's not for this evening. Sorry. I did say previously I would save that for another evening. Right. You're scared of ghosts, Ange B. Yeah, well, ghosts can be scary, but ghosts can also be friendly. And I found the ghosts that I encountered very friendly, but I won't go into it tonight. I really don't want to go there now, so I don't know why you all. Yeah, let's save ghost stories for a Friday night. Okay, next Friday evening, we'll talk ghosts. Okay, let's mark that in. We'll talk about ghosts. We can talk about all sorts of ghosts. Okay.
Ghosts.
On next Friday evening. So we'll save that for next Friday evening, which has been the suggestion of one of the viewers.
I can talk about ghosts.
Lady Men will have a view on ghosts as well. So next Friday, we will be discussing ghosts. Thank you very much. That's when we'll talk the ghosts. Okay? I'll pencil it in. So next Friday is, let's find the date. Next Friday is the 14th of March. So on the 14th of March, we will talk ghosts. I will write it down in my little calendar. Right. Here we are. We're writing it down right now. 14th of March. Ghosts. So Lady Men will have to talk about ghosts, and I will have to talk about the ghosts of my childhood.
I can only talk about experiences.
There we go.
With them. I want to talk about anything else.
Well, Harriet moderates for another channel on a Friday. Okay. Well.
I don't know.
You'd like it at a later time, says Mersey Woman. Well, I can't please everybody by everything. Right, so you don't want it on the 14th. You want it on the 13th. Okay, we'll have it on the 13th. Right, it's got to be on the 13th. Well, 13th
with ghosts.
13th is perfect with ghosts. But we're not making it a later time, no. The time is 7 o'clock. That's the time that works. It's the time that works for most of the audience. So I'm not changing the time, but we'll make it the 13th.
And we're in a different country.
We'll discuss the ghosts at the
Oh,
the 13th. Okay. Be there or be haunted, says Samarama. Yeah, well, be there or be haunted. So we're going to do ghosts on the 13th at 7 p.m. And I'm going to try and get the yachting couple along to see if they'll join in, because it'd be nice to have some extras. Let's see what they have to say, because they may have some views, but we may have a bit of Philip Schofield to talk about and other things. So there we are, the 13th at 7 o'clock. Right. Anyway, there we go. So we've reached the end of that matter, and I shall say, right, it's possibly time to nearly end the show, but we can carry on for a moment. So do we have any more final questions? Any final questions? We've had a storm here, but it seems to have subsided, which is nice. Have we any final questions?
I think it's stopped now.
She thinks it's stopped. Anyway, have we any final questions? Final questions. Right.
Well, the water's not running through the door.
Who are your school teachers? Well, my school teachers do occasionally pop into this matter. Normally my French teacher, Mr. This French teacher, I shan't give his name because it might offend him. He tends to pop in now and again. I like my school teachers. There was Mr. Gorse, the French teacher. I suppose I've given his surname. And then, of course, there was Dr. Thorne, the world expert on Chaucer. And then, of course, there was Sir Arnold Wolfendale, the geography teacher, who was the Astronomer Royal, my teacher. I had lots of lovely school teachers. I was a very lucky person in my schooling. I went to a wonderful academic school, so I can't fault my schooling. They can probably fault me because I was a disaster. Look at what I've turned out as. I'm an absolute nutcase. But I went to a wonderful school, and I was very, very lucky to go to such a lovely school. And as for my school teachers, they were fantastic. I didn't particularly like my Latin teacher because she was a little bit aggressive. Mrs. Wangerman, she was a bit scary. I found her a bit terrifying. But the rest of them... Oh, and there was, of course... Captain Fiddler, who taught me history, who couldn't drive a car but could fly an aeroplane. He was a little bit scary as well. I had to sit next to him once on the bus. I thought that was a bit odd. He was a bit of an oddity. Captain Fiddler. It was a very strange name. But, as school teachers go, I was very, very lucky. I had wonderful school teachers. On the Saturday Live yesterday, they went on and on, banged on and on about, how the school teacher was so wonderful and all that. Which school teacher most inspired you? Well, obviously because he tunes in most. I did like my French teacher. even though I never paid an ounce of attention to what he had to say. So, yeah, cheers to him. So there you go. That's how it works. You know, you have to celebrate everybody in life who's good to you. So, at university, there was nobody inspiring, not one. No. So I'm not really interested in them. There we go. So, right, next question. Right. Can Lady Min be on camera for Ghost Night?
Sorry?
Right, you're being expected to be on camera for Ghost Night.
For ghosting.
The Ghost Night on the 13th.
Okay.
Yes, she will be camera ready for Ghost Night. Right.
I'll wear the appropriate dress.
She will wear a ghostly outfit. She will be an apparition. I don't know if she's going to ghost across the screen, but we'll give her a chance. Yes. Okay. So on the 13th at 7 o'clock, you will get the ghostly apparition of Lady Min ghosting across the screen. Right. There you go. If that's what you want, that's what you're going to get. She will behave herself on that particular occasion. For once in her life, she'll do as she's told. So she has an appointment now, the 13th of March at 7 p.m. She is going to vamoosh across the screen. She doesn't have to do it for very long, but that's what she's got to do. And she's got to do a little ghostly dance. Yes?
I'll try.
She claims she's going to try. No, we don't accept she's going to try. She will. Yes? That's her obligation for the week. So she's got an appointment and we're checking her in. So she has to ghost herself across the screen and give you a little ghostly thing. Whatever she's going to do it, she can do whatever she wants, but she has to go across the screen and give you a little whatever. So the 13th of March at 7 p.m. British time, which is 8 p.m. here, she will be doing that. Bazam Zor says, why doesn't she wear a sheet over her head? Well, that's her choice. If she wants to do that, she's got to do something ghostly. So if she wants to wear a sheet over her head to be the ghost, she can do that. You may not know who even she is then. That's her choice. She may choose to do something else. So we will see what happens. Yes. Anyway, that's the 13th. We don't need to worry about the 13th until the 13th. Today is the 9th. And right. Stevie D has fallen over with his broken foot and destroyed his coffee table, and his new computer just survives. Oh dear. Well, I'm very sorry, Stevie D, but there we are. Chili Karen says hello to Lady Min. Right. Okay. Well, anyway, it's approaching 2 hours and 13 minutes of this. I say cheers to all of you, cheers to me, and cheers to me if we disagree. Any more questions? We won't do ghosts until Thursday the 13th, so no ghost questions until then. I'll talk about my ghost story on that day. Right. That's how it works. So we've got ghosts in the diary. We're getting a little bit like, other channels. We're getting things in the diary. Oh dear. I didn't expect to be so organized in my life. But why not? give it a go. We'll give it a go. If you want to talk about ghosts on the 13th, the 13th is a good day because the 13th is a number I don't like. So obviously, it's the perfect day to talk about something bizarre. There we go. Right. Your nan lived in a haunted house in 1937, says Pazam Orama. Well, she lived in a haunted house in 1937, or she lived in a house from 1937 till when? It was just in 1937 she lived in the haunted house? Well, I don't know. Very strange thing, okay? I don't know. Can't answer your question. There wasn't really a question, so let's be honest, that wasn't a very helpful thing. As nice as you are, but there we are. All right. Stevie D has been offered a new job with a steel company and starting this week.
Sorry?
Stevie D has been offered a new job starting with a steel company this week. We say, well done to you, Stevie D, don't we? We say, happy for you in your new employment, Stevie D. That's wonderful. Congrats to Stevie D, says Violet, as does Jake Wivy. Well done to Stevie D. Yep. Bees says, good luck, Stevie D. Well done to Stevie D. Well, we're glad you've got a new job. That's wonderful. Anyone who's doing well in life, we salute them. It's good to hear good news. Thank you to whoever is employing you, Stevie D. But they're very lucky to have you, Stevie D. So we say, brilliant news, Stevie D. There we go. So, right, have we any final questions before we close down our chat? You've got your final chance to ask me or whatever you want to ask. Stevie's going to be delivering steel beams, etc. And he says, thanks, guys. So, anyway, well done, Stevie D. We're very happy for you. Do we have a garden? Oh, yes. We've been doing gardening. So lots of gardening's been going on here. I spend most of my time doing gardening. I have to water a garden every morning, but I also have to plant it and do all the pots and everything else. Anyway, we're very happy with our gardening. So, yes, we love gardening. I'm still on the continent, yes. Right, okay. So any more questions? Any more questions? Questions, please. Your final questions. Otherwise, we will be closing down shortly. We've got 15 minutes. The Gratians adores gardening. Right. Harriet says, enjoy the week ahead. Please remember to hit the like button on the way out. Thank you. That's very kind of you. Yes, right. You are a great moderator, Harriet. You have been the voice of reason and sense. And well done for stopping Sam Palmer and his little cohorts yesterday. There we go. Do we plant veggies or herbs? Yes, we planted some chives and some other herbs, yes, and some tomatoes. Do I get massages? Asks the Thracian group. No, I'm not into massages. I'm not Jeffrey Epstein, Nathan. Right. Right. Jet fuel can't melt steel. I don't know what that means. We're a beautiful bunch. Well, I think you're all lovely. I think you've all been absolutely delightful and you're very kind and you're very considerate, and you're absolutely charming, and the nice things that you say are very encouraging and absolutely lovely. So thank you to all of you lovely people out there. Right. Coffee tables out the way. I don't know what that means. Good night from Aberdeenshire. Well, Aberdeenshire is a lovely place. I would like to visit again there. I haven't been there in a very long time. Right. Okay. You're saying I'm the best. That's a little bit of an over exaggeration, but thank you. That's very generous of you. Thank you, Thracian Grapes. Have I investigated the Port Arthur massacre? It's a fascinating case. I cannot say I know the Port Arthur massacre, but perhaps you could email me at editorial@thesteepletimes.com with more information, and I'll look it up. There's a great bunch of people building on your chats. Well, it's lovely to have you all here, especially you, Stevie D. So thank you, Stevie D. Good night from Gibraltar, Jack Smith. Well, thank you, Jack Smith. Thanks, sweet dreams, Harriet says. We love having you all here. I love the variety of where you all come from. I don't know how you find me. You must be utterly without other things to find, because why on earth would you want to listen to this old nut? But the kindness of you all is so delightful, and it's so lovely. And thank you very, very much. I thank you all. You're absolutely lovely people. I don't know why on earth you want to listen to me. I'm probably the most boring person on the planet.
You're not boring.
Parting is such sweet sorrow until the morrow, says Thracian Grapes. Buenas noches from the Canary Islands. The Canary Islands. We've got Christchurch, New Zealand. Right. We love listening to you, Mr. Steeples. Okay. We're a band of brothers. Okay. Well, thank you to you all. You are a very, very kind collection of people. And, right. Please sleep well. I hope you all sleep well yourselves. I'm going to say...
Horrible storms down there.
Lady Wynn is saying it's horrible storms. But anyway, good night to you all. Good night. Thank you. Good gardening. Sleep well. And have a wonderful evening. And pip pip. Take care. And we will see you again tomorrow at 7 o'clock. On the 13th, we will talk ghosts, but not tomorrow. The 13th. We'll save the ghosts for the 13th, okay? So good night and good gardening to you all. Take care and pip pip. Bye-bye.